Everyone hates Cooper Flagg, and that sounds crazy to say out loud, but somehow it feels true when you look at the silence that followed one of the most unbelievable performances ever recorded by an 18-year-old in the NBA. On a night that should have been replayed everywhere, Cooper Flagg stepped onto the court wearing a Dallas jersey surrounded by injuries, pressure, and doubt, and he still delivered history. 42 points in a single game, the most ever by an 18-year-old player in NBA history. 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Every possession felt heavy. Every basket felt earned. And even though the Mavericks lost in overtime, the story should have been unavoidable. Instead, it barely made a ripple. This was not an empty performance. This was not a meaningless night. Dallas was shorthanded again. Anthony Davis was out. Kyrie Irving was still recovering from a torn ACL from last season. The roster around Cooper Flagg was thin and exhausted. Yet when the game slowed down and the lights felt brighter, it was the youngest player on the floor who looked the most composed. By the end of regulation, he already had 40 points. Overtime did not inflate the record. It simply confirmed it. Even without those extra minutes, Cooper Flagg had already passed LeBron James and claimed the single-game scoring record for an 18-year-old. That alone should have been enough to dominate headlines. LeBron James had long held that mark with 37 points, a number that lived untouched for years because doing what LeBron did at that age was considered nearly impossible. But Cooper Flagg did more than break it. He shattered the idea that it could not be done again, and yet the reaction was muted. There was no endless debate, no rolling highlights every hour, no loud celebration of a generational moment. It was as if the basketball world collectively shrugged and moved on. When you look deeper, the silence becomes even more confusing. In NBA history, only 2 players had ever scored more than 24 points in a single game at 18 years old before Cooper Flagg arrived. LeBron James and Cooper Flagg. Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant both reached 24 at that age, and that was considered special. Now Cooper Flagg sits behind only LeBron James and Kobe Bryant in total points scored as an 18-year-old, and he is still not even 19. His birthday is days away. He is still improving game by game, possession by possession. Over the last 7 games, Cooper Flagg has averaged 26 points per game. He has added 6 rebounds and 3.5 assists while shooting 55% from the field. Dallas over that stretch has gone 5-2 despite being completely depleted by injuries. This is not empty production on a losing team that never competes. These are meaningful contributions that translate directly to wins. And he is doing it while carrying responsibilities on both ends of the floor. So why does nobody seem to care? Why does it feel like everyone hates Cooper Flagg? Or maybe hate is too strong a word. Maybe it is something quieter and more uncomfortable. Indifference, because indifference toward greatness is often more telling than open criticism. When LeBron James entered the league, every step was documented. Every milestone was magnified. When Victor Wembanyama arrived, the anticipation felt global. Even on bad nights, the conversation never stopped. But with Cooper Flagg, the noise never arrived in the first place. This is a player who has proven himself at every level. National Player of the Year in high school, National Player of the Year in college, and now, by any reasonable measure, the best rookie in the NBA. He graduated high school a year early. That means, in what should have been his junior year, he dominated enough to be named the best player in the nation. Then, in what should have been his senior year, he went to Duke and did the same thing. Now, in what would normally be his freshman year of college eligibility, he is already producing historic numbers against grown professionals. In the NBA, this is essentially a straight from high school jump when you look at age and development. And yet there is no obsession, no constant framing of his career arc, no daily debates about what he might become. Instead, there is skepticism, silence, and sometimes outright dismissal. There were even reports earlier this year suggesting he might drop out of the top 5 picks if he were in another draft class. That idea now looks absurd. Watching him play makes it impossible to take seriously. What stands out most is how complete his game already looks. Most scouts were excited about his defensive potential coming out of the combines. His size instincts and efforts suggested a future defensive anchor. But now, it is his offense that is dominating stretches of games. 35 points against the Clippers, 42 against the Jazz. Shot creation off the dribble, confident pull-ups, strong finishes through contact. He is not being hidden. He is being asked to lead. Yes, the Mavericks are struggling, but so did the Cavaliers during LeBron rookie season when they won only 35 games. The Spurs won only 22 games during Victor Wembanyama rookie season. Losing did not stop the media attention then. It did not slow the narrative. It did not erase the sense that something special was happening. So losing cannot be the explanation now. Maybe Cooper Flagg is too calm, too consistent, too focused. He does not seek controversy. He does not play into loud narratives. He simply shows up and produces in an era that thrives on drama that can sometimes work against you. Highlights without headlines feel incomplete to a media machine built on constant urgency. And yet basketball history does not care about volume. It remembers impact. Every great player eventually forces the conversation. Numbers accumulate, wins follow. Moments stack on top of each other until denial is no longer possible. Cooper Flagg is on that path, whether people acknowledge it now or not. He is 18 years old, rewriting record books once thought untouchable. He is doing it efficiently. He is doing it under pressure. And he is doing it without the safety net of a healthy roster around him. The question is not whether he is special. That has already been answered. The real question is how long the silence can last. Because performances like this do not fade. They linger, they build, and sooner or later, the league and the media will have no choice but to turn and look directly at Cooper Flagg and admit what has been obvious all along. Everyone might act like they hate Cooper Flagg right now, or maybe they just do not know how to react to greatness that arrives without noise. But stay tuned, because if the last 7 games are